All right, we're here to talk about Chapter 13, first lesson, polynomials. Let's go. First one is monomial. This would be a review. You should already know what this is, but just in case you didn't, a monomial is an algebraic expression consisting of one term. Mono means one, so one term. A term could be 3x, could be 5y, could be just the number 6, or just the number 998. Usually terms are separated by an adding or subtracting symbol. So that would be a polynomial. A polynomial would be an algebraic expression that contains one or more monomials. So that would look like if it had one term, just the number 4. If you have two terms, that would be y minus 2. The minus is what splits it into two terms. Then 3 terms would be a plus b plus c. That would be exactly 3 terms. So a binomial would mean 2, so the polynomial with exactly 2 terms. So x plus 1, the plus makes it have 2 terms. So term 1 is x, term 2 is 1. You could have a minus 5b. That's another one. The minus symbol splits it. A is one term. 5b is another one. C squared plus d. C squared by itself is one term. D by itself is another term separated by a plus symbol. Binomial. A trinomial. So a polynomial with exactly 3 terms. So an example would be a plus b plus c, which we already did, or the one you're going to see more often coming along is going to be x squared plus 2x plus 1, where you have the same variable, but you have 3 terms split by 2 plus or minus symbols. Now the degree would be the sum of its exponents and the sum of the exponents of its variables. So however many variables it has, and to whatever degree exponent they have, you add all those together. So we could have x squared by itself would be 2, y to the third would be 3. The degree of a non-zero constant, such as 6 or 10, is also 0. If you did happen to have x squared and then y cubed, and there wasn't a comma or a plus in between there, you would add 2 and 3 together, so that degree would be 5. So, and constant 0 has no degree. Okay, so are these polynomials or not? These 3 here are not polynomials, and here's why. On the first one, I have a negative 8 in the exponent, and it's connected to the variable. When there's a negative number on an exponent, that makes it not a polynomial. Number 2 here, 5 square root of x. Now, just because there's a radical in there doesn't always mean that it's not a polynomial. The key is the radical is on the variable. So if we rewrote this, it would be 5x to the 1/2. That would be another way to write it. It's only because it's a weird thing on the variable does it make it not a polynomial. So just because that's a 1/2 there, that makes it not a polynomial. Last one, number 3, it's this variable in the denominator. Variable in the denominator, again, would actually be written 2x to the negative 1. Can't have a negative number there to be a polynomial. So radicals or not. Okay, so look at this one. Tell me if you think it's a polynomial or not. Okay, lots of fun options here. I've got a radical here. I've got a radical in the denominator down here. But the key is none of the weird things that we said are not polynomials. There's no negative exponents. There's no denominators that have the variable in them. So this is a polynomial, even though it looks kind of funny. So make sure you know the difference and why these are not and why this one is. All right, determine if it's a polynomial. If it is, classify it as monomial, binomial, or trinomial. Okay, so it has a variable in the exponent. So I would say it is not a polynomial because you can't have a variable in the denominator. Okay, 1b, is x squared minus 12 a polynomial? I would say yes it is, and it's probably a binomial. It's a polynomial because it has two different monomials. There are two terms, so it's a binomial. All right, pause this video, tell me what you think. All right, letter A has three terms. There isn't any negative, there isn't any over denominators, any exponents, sorry, isn't a variable in the denominator. So yes, this is a polynomial, and it would be a trinomial. Okay, on the letter B, we've got a radical on the variable. That is not allowed. That would not be a polynomial. All right, find the degree of negative 10 times 4w. All right, so when we look at this, we see there's one variable, w, and it is to the fourth degree. There's no others, so that's all it is. The degree is 4 because the variable w has a degree of 4, so therefore the whole thing's degree is 4. Find the degree of x8, x third, y to the 7th, and z. Okay, so x to the third has a degree of 3. Y to the 7th has a degree of 7, and z has a degree of 1. Now we add all three of those together. So we take 3 plus 7 plus 1, so the answer would be degree is 11. All right, pause this one, give it a shot. All right, 5m to the cube. There's nothing else there. There's no negatives, nothing in the problems. So that would have a degree of 3. All right, letter B, A has a degree of 1. B has a degree of 2. And C has a degree of 5. I'm going to add all three of those together. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 8. All right, find the degree of a squared minus b to the 5th minus 4. Okay, the only difference is now we have two terms. So we're going to take each term and we're going to add the degrees to them. So we know how to add 2 and 5, comes out to 7. We said if it's just a number, it has no degree. If there's no variable, it has no degree. So that would be 0. So my degree of this one, you're going to take the greatest of those. So if you ended up with a trinomial or more than that, you take whichever degree is the highest is the degree of the entire polynomial. Find the degree of 2x squared y squared plus 7x y to the 6th. So we're going to put those into a chart here again. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 6 is 7. So the degree is going to be the highest degree we can get. So the highest degree we see is 7. So the degree of this polynomial is 7. All right, pause this one, give it a shot. All right, so we look at this top one here. I've got x cubed, y cubed. So that's going to have a degree of 6. I'm just going to put degree equals, and then 4x to the 4th and y. 4 and 1 would be degree equals 5. So the highest degree I have is 6. Okay, minus 3, 3m plus. So negative 3m is to the first degree and is to the 4th. So that one degree is going to equal 5. Negative 7 has a degree of 0 because there's no variables. So my degree is going to be 5, the largest one. The formula for a surfaced area, and this is from last chapter, of a cube is going to be area equals 6 times the side squared, where s is the side length. Find the degree of that polynomial. Well, all we got to do is look at, just look at 6s squared. There's 2 on the s, so the degree would be 2. 6s squared has a degree of 2 because there's 2 up here. All right, try this one. All right, so I take this, let's split these two terms up through pi RH and 2 pi r squared. Well, this already has a degree of 2 because the radius has 2 here. This one has a degree of 1, this has a degree of 1, so that degree is also going to be 2. So the degree is going to have to be 2.